Just more face to wash.
Well, greetings, imagination connoisseurs. Once again, it is I, your pharaoh of physical media. That's right, me, Robert Meyer, Burnett, and I'm coming at you with Let's Get Physical Media episode, I think, 189. We're still here. We're still doing it. We're still spinning our discs. But, it's just not a show. I mean, sometimes I wear a shirt from the great land of Saarbrücken, Deutschland, and I see it clipped out and put on Instagram with graphics pointing to Saarbrücken on my shirt. I mean, who could it be that is such a fan of one German city? I don't know. Well, you all know because you love him. But man, I think they should make him the official ambassador of Saarbrücken, Deutschland, Mr. Dieter Bastian.
Rob, nothing thrills me more to see the T-shirt is still in rotation, and I say, greetings, imagination connoisseurs. Dieter here, I'm Rocky like Eric, and welcome to the B&B Motel for Let's Get Physical Media. And Rob, the Oscar aftermath, let me tell you, it had to be a boring show for you. Why? Because of the 17 categories that I asked you to pick the winner. You picked 16 right, Rob. 16 right.
Well,
you have to change your job to a bookie, Rob. You have to change it. You have to 16 of 17. And the 17, the only one that you were not correctly was Demi Moore, but your second pick was Mikey. So what can I say?
You know what?
16 right.
I knew, I can say this now. Can I say this now? I don't think Demi Moore, I mean, she did a great job in The Substance, but the
Rob,
film
I heard
did
what you said about that, and I'm totally on board with this.
Yeah, the film just didn't give her as much to do. I think it's in a way, and this might be controversial, but it's a lot harder to act like a person in the real world than it is to act like a person who's in a horror film.
Yeah.
Because when you're in a horror film, the emotions that the emotions can be heightened, and they don't need as much nuance. But when you're trying to convince an audience that you're a person living in the real world, I think it's a harder job. And I think Mikey Madison played a much wider range. Now, that's not to take anything away from Demi Moore, who gave a great performance in the movie that she was required to be in. But look, and also you're fighting against the genre too. Yeah. And there was a lot of people. And The Substance was not entirely beloved.
The problem for me, Rob, too many people put stock into about the longevity of her career, what she's done, probably the last time she will get nominated, but you can't put that into the vote.
No.
Can't. You just simply can't. It's about the best performance. So,
it's not like
I was very happy with the results that came out of the Oscars.
Yeah, I was too. I thought it was really a fair show. I really enjoyed the Oscars this year. I thought it was a really good show. I really enjoyed it. I thought Conan O'Brien did a good job hosting. I would have picked different songs for the Bond medley, and it felt a little. I'm sure they were a little upset.
That was the only strange thing, Rob, for me. Bond medley, okay? Why we're doing?
Well, they were giving an award
since I'm a fan.
But they were giving an award to the Broccoli, Michael Wilson and Barbara Broccoli, but they probably planned all that before the Amazon thing went down. Where Jeff Bezos paid them off. Paid him $1 billion to walk away, and it was. I liked Doja Cat more than most people. I liked that she was singing. It was interesting to me. Here's what I was talking about. There's four Bonds still alive: George Lazenby, Timothy Dalton, Pierce Brosnan, and Daniel Craig. They could have brought them out on stage. And I think that the songs that they picked, I thought were a little, it was cool seeing, I'm not going to lie. I'm a huge fan of Lisa's from Blackpink. I can't get enough of her.
She was certainly a surprise.
Big round face. I love that girl. Man, I was watching her on Hot Wings, and I'm like, nothing is hotter than you, babe. That's all I can say. But I'm a dirty old man, so I can't say things like that. But man, do I love her. So it was cool to see her sing, although I could see that she got pissed. There was once when she was doing a dance move, the camera was overhead. Yeah. The move wasn't very good, and I could see somebody didn't get her timing right, and she was angry, but she kept it together. I love Lalisa. I do. But I wish, the Bond songs.
And I was just watching, Rob. Okay, he's right again. He's right again. He's right again. God damn it.
Well, as a student, sometimes I do well, sometimes I don't. But I do better usually than not. Because, look, like I say to Elizabeth, I've been studying Hollywood since I was a little kid. And I think what's unfortunate, the biggest problem, I think the Oscars really show that it used to be that the most successful movies were also the most popular movies were also the highest grossing movies, and they were the Oscar contenders. And the problem is the studios don't make they call them Oscar bait, but they don't make those movies anymore. Yeah. Only indie cinema does. And it was really cool to see. Sean Baker is one of us. I've never actually met him, but I have friends that know him. And by all accounts, he's a total cinephile and a self-made filmmaker. And he's never taken his Tangerine or his Florida Project. I've loved the movies that he's made. And remember, he made Tangerine with iPhones. He's a genuine filmmaker. He made Nora for $6 million. And people are like, well, it had an $18 million Oscar campaign. It still had to be voted upon. People. The problem is a lot of people don't see these movies. So the only way that Neon could get people to see the film is with a robust Oscar campaign when they put the movie in the hands of people. So people are talking about, you can't force people to vote. No one's gonna, So I think Nora was deserving.
And I see Nora is back in the charts, Rob, in the Billboard charts. Not in the Billboard charts, in the box office charts. And we have the new from Bong Joon-ho came out.
Yes, would you like to
seen the movie? Yeah.
Okay,
have you seen the movie, Rob?
I have not. Anthony, I was probably going to go tonight. Anthony, it's just I have been trying to reach the finish line for True Noir. True Noir. I want to have everything done this week. My editorial, my portion of it all finished, and getting into to do the mixes. So we'll release episode 8 this week. So the next 3 episodes will be released on time, and then we're also working on the final. We're making one long 5-hour piece, and then I've started to work on the Blu-ray. So for those people who the Kickstarter donors, and I might have some exciting news about the Blu-ray to share later. But it's speaking of Blu-rays. Did you see what Super Deluxe Edition announced and what? Well, we can talk about it in the news section.
Okay.
But
I'm
we'll talk.
Sure
Okay, we'll talk about it later. But it's pretty exciting.
Okay.
Super Deluxe Edition. I use them as my indicator about what I want to do with the True Noir disc. So, and the last 2 things, Super Deluxe Edition, they always sell out. We were Roxy Music's Avalon, which, as I've said, is one of the great make-out records of all time. I don't know if kids today would feel that way, but back in high school it was. The only problem was it was only 30 minutes, and you were just getting warmed up by then. Prince's 1999 was a better make-out album, but the first release of it on CD was missing a track because it was too long to fit on one CD. Anyway, too many secrets. So here's what Anthony D'Alessandro says about the box office. Warner Brothers and Plan B Entertainment's Mickey 17 is being called at 19.1 domestic, 43.6 million global this morning. And the Pix running worldwide tally is 53.3 million. And that, unfortunately, isn't going to cut it profit-wise for this $118 million original sci-fi production plus P&A, which Warner Brothers decided to take a swing on with multi-Parasite Oscar winner Bong Joon-ho. But that's from a motion picture standard of P&L measurement. Here's what's frustrating for those at Warner's shepherding the film and those producing it. At a time when movie executives are trying to keep cinema alive with auteur-driven, genre-defying fare, Netflix has released their $320 million Russo brothers-directed sci-fi robot original family film Electric State in 2 theaters this weekend with 24 showtimes. I Pick Westwood and I Pick Fulton Market with an average ticket price of $19.35. The grosses for Electric State will go unreported, and the global eyeballs on Netflix's service using their own methodology for viewership, not a third party, will celebrate that movie as a win. Electric State, which is more of a studio accountant's nightmare, won't be written up as a flop like Mickey 17. What the fuck? Make no mistake, Mickey 17 is losing money in its first cycle, and the upcoming expensive amateurish gambles at Warner Brothers has me worried, but in the end, many will likely remember Mickey 17 more for having some sort of impact on the culture than Electric State, just because that's how it goes when it comes down to the legacy of movies in cinemas versus home TV movies. In the same breath, it's hard to tap dance on Warner Brothers for Mickey 17 as they're bound to make more money than Electric State years down the road. The 21st century mind is still confused how streamers make money off 300 million plus features. Newsflash, they don't. Why didn't Mickey 17 work? Mickey 17 is not Parasite. Parasite was a cleverly twisty, noirish social commentary that had audiences championing for those home invaders, not those who are the victims of the home invasion. Mickey 17 is Byzantine and cold in its execution. That's why it isn't bringing in a bigger audience. It's no Gravity. Also a Warner Brothers movie which pulled in women with Sandra Bullock and George Clooney. It had a lot of heart in it, working both as a popcorn and an art house pick. The only solution here is for a motion picture studio that when they're making original fresh IP, don't spend a penny north of $100 million. Just don't. If Brady Corbet can make his 3.5 hour The Brutalist for a net of under $10 million, that's a film financial model all studios should strive for. So there you go. I'll tell you something, if I can editorialize for a minute. There's no reason these movies, why does Electric State cost $300 million? Now, you're going to say, because of all the visual effects. And you would be correct. But there's no reason a movie like that should cost $300 million. I mean, with all the technology, the problem is, what they're doing is they're throwing everything but the kitchen sink at these movies. And they have 2,000 effects people working on these things. They've got to figure out, filmmakers, especially, the Russo brothers went right from TV to making Marvel movies. And they jumped into a world where they had all of these effects technicians at their disposal. They didn't work their way up understanding that, hey, how about why not spend $200 million? If you can't make a movie like Electric State for $200 million, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
I honestly think people have forgotten how to make films. They have forgotten how to make films. We'll see.
Yeah. And considering Parasite, Rob, we shouldn't forget it was a movie that just played on and on and on. It wasn't just from the start a box office hit. It just got good word of mouth, and it just kept playing. Then came the award season.
I also think Mickey 17 was pretty poorly marketed as well.
Okay.
If you have a I know that's now it seems like it's my new catchphrase, but when you have a movie like Mickey 17 from a director like Bong Joon-ho, you need to be creative. You need to explain to an audience, and I've talked to a lot of people that, there's a Trump aspect to the movie some people didn't appreciate, and there's all, I just think and that movie shouldn't have cost $100 million either. When has Bong Joon-ho he made The Host, that wasn't nearly a $100 million movie. But there's, again, a lot more effects. I just think people need to get creative. So anyway, Mickey 17 made $19.1 million. Captain America Brave New World is up to $176.5 million domestic. It hasn't made $400 million international, which is a disappointment. Last Breath, which I heard Simu Liu on Terry Gross, He was really articulate. I really enjoyed hearing the story about how they made this movie. Last Breath has made $14.6 million. The Monkey has made $31 million. Paddington in Peru, these are all domestic, by the way, $36.9 million. Dogman is up to $88.7 million. Anora at number 7, a movie that cost $6 million, has now made $18.4 million, which is what their Oscar campaign cost. By the way, Criterion, nice score for Criterion putting that out on 4K. Mufasa is just up to $250 million in America. Yeah. That movie continues to chug right along. Rule Breakers, which is a faith-based movie from Angel Studios, has made $1.59 million. And In the Lost Lands has made basically just a little bit over $1 million.
New Paul W.S. Anderson movie.
Oh, is that what In the Lost Lands is?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Bautista and Mila Jovovich.
Oh, well, there you go.
From I think a short story from George R.R. Martin.
Oh, wow. I knew nothing about that. How did I not know anything about this movie?
Yeah, well, it's a little bit under the radar.
Well,
and Chris Gore gave it, I think, a 2 out of 10.
Oh, that's a bummer.
Yeah. What can you do? But Rob, on Tuesday, we finally finished Paradise.
Oh, yes, the final episode of Paradise. Don't give it. What'd you think?
No, Rob, for me, Paradise is must-see TV. 10 out of 10 for me. It is the show that will, all other shows that come out this year will have to measure up against for me. Because the last episode, Rob, begins and I thought, okay, interesting, but shouldn't we be somewhere else considering clearing stuff up? And then the mic dropped again, Rob, and I was unbelievable.
You know, I was.
You know what I mean, Rob? You know what I mean? You know,
dude. I was texting with the very lovely Lana Ewan last night, and it's funny. She sent me 2 pictures of her dogs, and in the background, I mean, this is because I'm so, I don't know, OCD. I'm like, oh, there's physical media back there, and it was all blurry, but I could tell. I'm like, that's Capricorn 1, that's Demolition Man, that's the Second Sight Hitcher. But I asked her if she'd seen Paradise, and she said not only has she seen it, she's recommended it to everybody, and she said that of everything that it's by far the greatest recommendation she's given people based on their feedback.
Yeah,
and the same is true.
A friend of mine, Rob, one of my oldest friends, telling me, "Did I started Paradise? Insanely good."
Well, you know what's really interesting? I mean, it's a perfectly balanced show in terms of like what Lost would take a whole season to do. It does on an episode by episode basis. Yeah. And for me, like, is it going to change your life? You know, does it have the depth of, say, a Breaking Bad? No, but it's what I like to call an airport read. You know, when you get a book that has a really interesting premise and it grabs you and it fucking delivers just all the way.
You get a great closure with season 1 and still are interested how it will evolve from there. And you still got a closure considering the murder mystery.
And what's interesting is the show now can be opened up. Although I don't know how that would affect. I mean, it was really interesting because it was designed, and I think very smartly. If it didn't catch on, the show could have ended there, and it would have been satisfying. The show would have been 8 episodes of very satisfying television. But I think they're going to have their work cut out for them because the premise was sort of, call it enclosed, but. So but now once you move into a different milieu, you don't have, I mean, the mystery's been solved, so they're going to have to start over again. But I still think one of my favorite villains on TV. Yeah, the bad person is monumentally bad.
You know that I suck at murder mysteries, Rob. Had you any idea about who the murder is?
Dude,
No.
Elizabeth gets mad at me because we'll
killer.
watch those Harlan Corbin adaptations, like those
Yeah.
10-episode mysteries, and 15 minutes in, I'm like, that person did it. And she'll wait. I would say I'm right about 80% of the time. And Elizabeth's like, how do you know that? I had no fucking clue. No clue.
That's all we need to tell the people, Rob.
No. And some people,
Paradise is must see TV.
there were some people that were asking me on Twitter that apparently they were unsatisfied with the answer to that question. Who done it? And I'm like, how can you be They took the time. I mean, it was set up.
Yeah.
You know, if you were paying attention, and I never would have suspected. But it's not like it came out of the blue. It's just when they gave you that backstory, like when that last episode started, I'm like, where the fuck is this going? What am I? What is going on here?
We have more important stuff to do now. And then came the mic drop, and I was thinking, unbelievable. But not only that, then came stuff more on top of it. And when we are at that high of a show, everything else that get measured is, of course, a drop down for me. So, of course, I started Daredevil on Wednesday, and for me, it's fine.
By the way, this is my coffee in honor of Pam Grier. All right.
And I hope Daredevil a fine start. Perhaps it will be a show where the start is okay and it will get better, unlike the other Disney shows, where the start was always, okay, it's fine, and then the shows went always off the rails. So perhaps Daredevil will be a different animal, because most people already got all 9 episodes, which for me is actually a good sign. Normally they only get 4 to watch, but they all got the whole season.
I liked Daredevil. I didn't love it.
Me too, Rob. It was fine. Reacher was great. Invincible, the
Reacher's gotten better. Reacher has gotten a lot better. The last 2 episodes of Reacher were good.
My only critique, Rob, on season 3, the bad guy has all, spoiler alert a little bit, has all those weapons in his shelves. And they are thinking, what is his crime? What is he probably doing? Is he selling drugs or something like that? That was the only thing, Rob. Couldn't you two put 1 and 1 together,
Yeah, look, this is probably, I think, of the 3 seasons, it's my least favorite season.
Okay.
But I still am enjoying it. I mean, it's getting better as it goes along. This last episode.
For me, they're on equal footing considering the seasons. And I have to say, Rob, unlike Reacher holding his level, for me, Severance is actually a drop down at the moment, because you're just getting more questions and no.
Yeah, I haven't started the second season.
I'm just saying, Rob, was always a slow burn season, but now we are just at the slow point, Rob, and nothing is burning anymore. I hope the last 2 episodes will pick up. You can't just have questions upon questions and give 0 answers to anything. So I hope Severance will pick up with the last 2 episodes. But Paradise, Rob, great recommendation from you. For me, this will the series that every other series this year has to measure upon. Was it as good as Paradise?
Well, and the creator of it has been thinking about it for 10 years. So it was, to watch a show that was really thought through like that. I'm always talking about authorship. It was a great example of what I'm always talking about. Here was a show. And by the way, like all TV shows, they didn't know everything. Like, for instance, The Book. Yeah. The Book. They didn't know what book it was going to be. And that was that the book was, it was, I think, suggested either by an intern or an assistant. Said, you know what book you should use? This book. And I mean, they knew that there was going to be, you'll see. I don't want to ruin it for anybody, but there's a book involved. Certainly. And it was, they didn't know what that book was. So they didn't know everything. But when you know where you're going, it gives you room to move.
Totally. And for me, it was great that with the posters or the synopsis, they didn't give anything away at all, what the show is about. And that's kudos to them.
Yep.
So, Rob, I think we should read some super chats and then we go finally into our main topic, physical media.
By the way, I have to warn you now. I only have 2 things that I got this week, but we'll talk about that.
Okay.
Yeah, let me see. Are there super chats? I have no idea.
Yeah, I think there were one.
There are, in fact. Let's see. 6 Scale Mafia celebrates 23 months of membership and says,
Nice.
Let's get physical. That's Anthony. Tom Jr. Jackson celebrates 52 months of membership. Our own moderator. Bobby B. Hope things are well with you and always a pleasure to see the Trash Panda. Happy birthday. Okay, Robert Giachinita says, I need you two's advice. For 3 straight nights, I've been woken up to my girlfriend talking in her sleep, saying the same name. Dieter. Should I be concerned?
That's a nightmare.
I don't know. I think you should be concerned. Dude, you're a sex symbol. Max Allen Collins, he tells me that his wife hears your voice and she gets all, excited.
Yeah, she hears my voice and thinks I can't understand one single word.
I don't know. I think your accent. American women love the accent, man. Come on, they do.
Okay, for me, it's one of the most annoying things that I ever heard, Rob. Because when I go through the live chat, Rob, when I watch the show again, the douche from Germany. Put the volume down. It's always strange to hear yourself talking.
By the way, do you know what I'm doing later today? I'm going to see Paul Allen Burnett.
Oh, nice.
They're up in
That's
Idlewild.
great.
Him and his wife were at a film festival with a film they made showing their film.
Correct.
And they're coming down. You have to come down past where I live if you're coming off Idlewild going back into town. And so I'm going to meet them later this afternoon.
Cool. That's very cool.
Yeah.
That's very cool. So, Rob, who starts? Should I start since you have only
Sure, why not? You start.
2 titles? Okay. First, Rob, what I've seen this week too, I watched from Radiance, The Cat.
Oh, dude, that movie looks so good. Tell me it's great.
Yeah. It's one of the big movies from the 80s here in Germany, Rob. It was I would think so, great box office success here. And it has Götz-George, which was the biggest star here in Germany.
The trailer for that was great.
That time here. He was a big star on TV, but he could easily switch between movies and television. And Radiance did put a great transfer on this one and new bonus features. So really enjoyed to see.
Yeah, I really want to get that
again. The Cat. And Rob, in the famous words of Judas Priest, let's go heading out to the highway. And I know that's not your type because all you want to do, let's go heading out. Let's go heading out to the Autobahn.
Oh, you got that from Super Deluxe Edition, buddy.
Not from Super Deluxe, Rob. I'm just normal ordering.
Well, but they made it.
Not from. Okay.
Right.
Okay. So
we're gonna get
even
to
if
that
it's
later.
Not my type, if you want a nice workout for your system,
Bon, Autobahn. I bet that sounds incredible.
I only just listened to it a little bit in the afternoon, and it sounds great. So there are just some pictures in here. It comes with a Dolby Atmos track, DTS 5.1, and PCM stereo. And it's strange to me that the album is 50 years old, which is
dude. Those are my new favorite things. I can't get enough. I can't get enough. I can't get enough Super Deluxe Edition.
I showed the first one, and this from Welgo USA. I got iPhone i2, Blind Vengeance, and this afternoon, Rob, I told you I wasn't sure. I bought perhaps the movie, or have I already seen it? I watched eye for an eye, and I can tell you, I have not seen the movie, and it totally was a blast, a great time with it, everything I want from such a movie. So I'm really looking forward to part 2, Eye for an Eye, Blind Vengeance. Those came from Well-Go USA. This one, Rob, you showed already from Kino. Really looking forward to watching this again, because I think the last time I saw this movie was really the VHS days. Body Parts with Jeff.
Yeah, written and directed by Eric Red.
Yeah, and I think he does an audio commentary here.
Yeah, he does.
For the movie. Body Parts. Then we have, I think, Rob, you showed it last week, the steelbooks from Sony, the Fincher steelbooks. We have the first one, Panic Room.
Yeah.
Which comes with 3 discs. You got the 4K, the Blu-ray, and the bonus features. And Rob, I watched it on Friday, and I can get why there is some controversy considering the look. It's a little bit of an Alien situation, Rob. I enjoyed how the movie looks, considering that cold blue, steel, sterile Panic Room. But if you're looking for film grain, you probably won't find it in Panic Room. And the other one, of course, Social Network, which I haven't got around to.
One of the most rewatchable movies of all time. I love that movie.
You have the 4K once again.
Yeah, I have I didn't get that because I have the 4K and the Columbia box set.
Correct, Rob. Correct. And so this is a 1-to-1, or is there anything different with the steel?
I don't know.
1-to-1.
I don't think so. I think it's probably the same.
Okay. So, Social Network. And then one of my favorite characters in the expense, Rob, was Garachi as drummer. And she has an action movie out, Rob. So, Cat in the Bag, Rob. Garachi in Levels.
Love her.
Me too, Rob. Me too. But haven't seen it. Cat in the Bag, Levels.
There you go.
And next one, Media Book, from the director who did, let me just see again what the other movie was called. Oh, he did The Gangster, the Cop, and the Devil. And this is just called, Korean movie, Media Book, The Devil's Deal.
Wow.
So, should be in the crime genre. So, Korean cinema, Media Book.
You guys get all the cool stuff
liner
over there
notes.
in Germany, man. Come on.
Some liner notes. But not in 4K, that's just a Blu-ray and a DVD. The Devil's Deal. So, this was a little bit of my first haul, Rob.
Well, a fine haul it is. I, of course, some weeks you get stuff, some weeks you don't. I only got 2 things. The first thing, once again, I've got to thank Lisa Stevenson for sending me a box from Lionsgate, which it was a big box, but there was only one thing in it. The Den of Thieves, the Lionsgate Limited Den of Thieves box set. Now,
and this is only available on their website, I believe, Rob.
Yes, only on their website. It has a metal clasp. Really nice box, by the way. And then it contains 2, not 1, but 2 steelbooks.
Nice.
So, you have the first Den of Thieves and Den of Thieves 2. I really like the design of these steelbooks.
Yeah.
Here's the back of Den of Thieves 1.
Okay.
And there you go.
Nice.
So thank you, Lisa. By the way, my article, I wrote a little piece on Basic Instinct. Yeah. It is up on the website. There's Den of Thieves 2, which I haven't seen Den of Thieves 2 yet, but I like Den of Thieves 1. People didn't like Den of Thieves 2 as much.
And like I told you, Rob, the movies are heavily edited here in Germany for the theatrical exhibition.
Really?
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
lame. That's lame.
About 15 minutes each, Rob, where they edited for the theatrical exhibition.
Because of violence?
No, Rob, just to shorten the movie. No,
Well, that's
give it
stupid.
a little bit more of an.
But this is a really, I have to say, Lionsgate Limited, for their mandate to sell direct to consumer, direct to collectors, for their Basic Instinct disc. Now, it is the same. Lisa told me this, came straight from her mouth. They haven't changed the transfer. It's the exact same transfer that Studio Canal did that's a little orange and teal. It still is an incredible transfer, but the color timing, I would have preferred if they were able. That teal and orange was not the way the film looked. Yeah. But it's a great transfer. It's just I don't like the color grade, but it does look good. I mean, that movie always looked terrible on home video. It did not look good. Kind of the way Die Hard never looked good until we got the 4K. But the special features, they were able to go back and even get the hour-long documentary that was only on Laserdisc. So it is chock-a-block full of special features. They even made new special features. It's a 3-disc set. Can't wait to get it. So what Lionsgate Limited's doing, I mean, yeah, I'll shill for them. But they're doing great work. They're really catering. And by the way, I mean, this probably could have survived. You could have taken the box this came in and thrown it off a cliff, and it would have survived. And this box
that was
would
a great
be
joke, Rob, during the Academy Awards. Jeff Bezos is coming in. You know, the Amazon driver was just throwing the package, taking a picture.
It was hilarious.
Came on and stole it.
It was hilarious. But they're doing a great job. Now, the other thing I got, and again, this is great. It's more to bitch about. You know when you see one of these.
Oh, Raindrop. I got my first one too.
You got one. Did you order from Zavvi?
No, from Amazon UK.
Wow. So you don't see these in the United States.
The question is, what is in
yours? Should we open them together?
Okay.
That's what I got. The Constantine.
I was totally surprised to get this box.
Well, because they're I mean, I haven't even opened mine yet. It's so frustrating that in America, it's got that great. I love the matte finish. Yeah, look at that.
Totally. And the steelbook looks way better live than it did on the website because this is all embossed here.
Yeah, this is a great.
I wasn't a big fan of the design of the steelbook but when you see it live, it looks way better in person.
Oh yeah, this is yeah. You really have to see all of this. This is all embossed.
When you showed it, Rob, you could see it better than when I showed it.
Yeah, you can see the embossing.
You can see that it's not.
Yeah, this is a dope ass.
A flat surface.
This is a dope ass steelbook.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
look. I mean, clearly, it's a UK disc. By the way, what is it with? I also have the Amadeus box set coming from the UK.
Okay.
I mean, why is it that we in America? I mean, again, why is it that Warner Brothers UK knows what's up? I mean, please put George Feltenstein in charge. Please, just put him in charge of the entire studio. Would you? At least the physical media elements of it. Yeah, I won't open mine then. I don't have to open mine. And by the way, I really like this movie. I was a huge fan of the comic book. I mean, I loved the Hellblazer comic. And when they cast Keanu Reeves, I was like, what? But you know what? I ended up loving this movie. Francis Lawrence, your boy.
Yeah, my boy, Rob. My boy.
Look at this box for transit only.
Cards.
How do they know to put this movie in one of these boxes, but they can't? I mean, in America, they can't do it. They can't figure it out. Yeah, those are great. Pre-production art.
Rob, will get a sequel actually now, or
I don't know.
They're always talking about it.
I mean, I would think that with Keanu Reeves his whatchamacallit, his
cards are double-sided.
Yeah, that's cool. His stock has gone up since he made Constantine, so why wouldn't you want to make another one? Get Francis Lawrence to do it.
Yeah, would be awesome.
By the way, can I just say, I can't stand small coffee cups. If you're going to drink coffee, you got to drink coffee. Give me a mug that's big. Anytime I want to get like a mug, like a with a logo on it, it's always too small. Make a big one. Big coffee cups.
And there are, where are they? 2 posters in it.
Yeah, you're opening that so I don't have to.
The other one? Because actually, since I wasn't a big fan of the design of the Steelbook, I thought, the box set, considering the outer shelf, looks way more stylish.
I love that. It's very cool.
Especially the back. But when I got the Steelbook out and I said, hey, the Steelbook looks way better when you hold it in your hands. So Constantine.
Yeah.
And Constantine was
lots of things are better when you can hold them in your hands.
Was one of the earliest Blu-rays that I remember that got released back in the day. Let me just put everything back together here.
Okay, while you do that, I've got a few more super chats from people. Cult Cinema 83 says, now that you're almost done with True Noir, can we finally expect the return of whining about movies and midnight musings on the horizon? Well, for those of you who've noticed, there's a midnight musings, or actually it's midnight metal next week. The problem is I don't know. I could get Lael and RM back, but we're doing a midnight metal where we're having a special preview of Popeye the Slayer Man with Sean Decker and Sarah Nicklin. So join us next Saturday night for Midnight Metal, where you're going to see some. Dave Parker is not going to be available. Sean Decker is going to co-host with me. Dave is editing a film. I think he's in Sardinia or Malta.
Okay.
And
do you know what kind of movie, Rob? Horror movie? Or?
I do. I don't know if I should say it what it is though.
Oh, okay.
Adam Green's directing it. You can look it up and find out.
Yeah, you told me.
Yeah. So yeah, there'll be more stuff. Whining about movies, yeah, but I should say this. I don't know if I'm done with True Noir. I'm done with True Noir, the assassination of Anton Cermak.
So what you're saying is chop chop Max. Chop chop Max.
Well, there's something new on the True Noir front. Something new.
Okay.
Something that isn't an audio drama. That I'm going to just leave it there. I'm going to leave it there. And I'll be able to tell you more about it in a couple weeks, maybe.
Okay.
And then I'm going, by the way, I'm going to Portland. Oh, it won't affect the show. I'll be back. The end of March, I'm shooting more Crisis Medicine. Nice. Or, it's the show that I've been shooting
There's
for
no problem,
last...
Rob, if we
Yeah, well then, and then CinemaCon's the week after, but I'll be here. I'll be here. But yeah, hopefully there'll be something to talk about. True Noir.
Okay. Nice. We leave the audience hanging.
I will leave the audience hanging. I will say this. Yeah. I will say this. It might take place. Well, it does take place. True Noir takes place in the assassination of Anton Cermak takes place in 1932 and 1933. No, I can't say anything. I can't. I will just say this. I will just say this. What we're doing takes place not then. I mean, what we might be doing. Okay. So, I'll just leave that all with you. But but I will also. I am starting work, as I said, on the Blu-ray, the physical media. So, nice. Very excited to get the perks out to donors. Major Chai Chai said, finished watching Munich. What a slow burn to paranoia. Ooh. Moved on to Blue Velvet and Mulholland Drive. Going from Munich to Blue Velvet and Mulholland Drive. There you go. But Mulholland Drive, you can't go wrong with that. Now on to Diabolique. I hope you're watching the original Diabolique. Where to go from there? Well, that's a wide That's a wide range going from
wide array.
That's quite the array. Where would you go next? I don't know. Try watching All That Jazz if you haven't seen it. One of my favorite films of all time.
Yeah.
I don't know where you see it. Criterion's put it out. Where's that 4K, by the way? I'd love to get All That Jazz in 4K.
Probably be around the corner.
Yeah, could be. So where to now, man, on our short show?
Okay, then I could show the second hall room.
Show the second hall, baby.
Yeah. I know it was not that well received. Rob had a good time with it. And I would say, yeah, to a certain extent, I was somewhat entertained with Gladiator 2. The problem itself with the movie is that you are always trying to compare it to the first one, considering how they continued the story. What I would have done, Rob, just give the people bread and butter games, call it Into the Arena, and just make it battle stuff in the arena. That's what I want to see. I was surprised. It is really, really an epic spectacle. There's a lot of stuff, really practical sets, which I saw in the making of. So from a spectacle perspective, you get your money's worth with Gladiator 2. Perhaps not the story. If you can put some stuff out in your head, turn the brain off a little bit and don't do comparison every once in a while. I think you still can have some decent time with Gladiator 2. I decided to get this steelbook.
I'm going to tell you something.
Yeah.
I liked Gladiator 2.
Yeah, we know. Rob.
I'm not going to buy it. I'm not going to own
You're
it.
not going to buy it, okay.
I have like 6 copies of Gladiator in different formats. I don't ever need to see Gladiator 2 ever again. If I went and looked at my physical media collection, I love Gladiator so much that there's no way I could own Gladiator 2 and ever not go back and watch Gladiator 1. If I ever went and saw Gladiator 2, I'm going to watch Gladiator, I'd be like, nope, you know what? I'm just going to go watch Gladiator again. There's no reason to watch Gladiator 2. I saw it. I enjoyed it. Liked it. And, liked it there. But I if I were to watch it again, it would just all fall apart for me.
That could be true, Rob. That could be true.
I will never own that.
There's still some spectacle. And it has a nice picture quality is nice.
Oh, I'm sure.
So
I'd never need to see that movie ever again.
Okay.
No offense to anybody who worked on it. I mean, I did interview 2 of Yanti Yates and David Crossman for Designing Hollywood. Really liked them both.
And there are 2 steelbooks out. I decided to keep the more brownish one, and this one will go to my worker colleague. Get this one as a separate option for Gladiator 2. So this one is still sealed. Then this one, I totally almost forgot to order. I forgot to order, but now I ordered it. The order. On Blu-ray, nothing special to it. Just a slipcase. And
I hear that's really good. I need to watch that.
Yeah. This is one of those movies that Rob says are actually getting done anymore, or don't set the box office ablaze anymore, unfortunately. Even if it's a very, very good movie. The order. Then Turbine, Rob. Turbine came out with their next set of 3D titles. The first title I only got because I'm a big fan of the series, but I don't think that this series, none of the titles that came before the last one were in 3D. So the last one didn't actually need it, but since I'm a fan of the series, I got it. So I got Scream 6 in 3D. As always, you can switch out the cover artwork against a different one.
Yay.
So you have always a reversible cover artwork. So Turbine put out Scream 6 in 3D. Then, even if it was in shoutbox already, but there were some troubles, and Turbine went into the master, changed something. Unfortunately, there's still some stuff which are prone to very heavy ghosting, but it's probably the best version of Friday the 13th, part 3 in 3D.
Wow.
So Turbine put that out again.
That movie, Friday the 13th 3D, is one of the greatest movie-going experiences of my entire life.
Yeah, you told us.
Seeing that movie in the theater, man. Oh, that was so much fun. The Town Cinema, downtown Seattle. Where I saw Poltergeist. And the Manitou.
Which I'm really happy that it came out, because I quite enjoyed the movie. And I thought, love to see that movie in 3D. But Turbine came through now. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem, available in 3D with the Atmos track. Good, there's the cover artwork. So they are keeping 3D alive with those 3 more Paramount titles that they put out. And from Paramount, now I got a combo of 3 titles that I got price reduced. So really a good chance for those titles, because otherwise I would probably not have bought this Flash Gordon. But not the Flash Gordon.
Come on, dude.
Flash
it's worth
Gordon.
It just for that cover. Have you ever seen Flash Gordon?
Yeah. I think I've seen it, Rob, on VHS.
It's
but
a hoot.
Actually switch it out and use this cover artwork. Rob,
I'd like to think that Jeff Bezos' Blue Origin designed their rocket ship based on the rocket in Flash Gordon.
I even remember some scenes of it. So you've got, let me just check, Rob, you have a special edition with 2 Blu-rays. And here it says 6 rays and stop motion. Flash Gordon Super 8. I actually don't know what this entails. So you got the uncut version and the Super 8 version. Okay. So we've got two discs with Flash for Fantasy Gordon. So the next one, which I put in the same basket, because I think you had to get 3 titles to get 25% off, from Michael Haneke, his original Funny Games.
Oh yeah, that movie's great, dude. I remember seeing that for the first time.
Yeah.
Have you? The first time I saw it, there's the moment in it where that thing happens, and I was so. I was
the VHS tape, probably was the VHS tape, Rob.
No. Mine was a disc. And I was watching it.
I mean in the movie. It wasn't in the movie, the scene. You know?
Yeah. Well, yeah. And I was so freaked out watching it. I was like, wait, what? Funny Games. I love Funny Games.
Yeah. And he did, of course, the American remake itself. And no, this is not Freddie Corbet. He was in the remake of it. And the third title in that package, shop in 4K.
Wow, that's cool. I like that steelbook. That's good. I love that movie.
So 4K and Blu-ray with it. So those were a nicely 3 nice Schnäppchens that I got there. And the last one, German epic fantasy legend saga, Rob, which was very for German what the movie costs, very very high actually, but didn't set the box office ablaze. Hagen im Tal der Nibelungen, Rob, in the valley of the Nibelungen. So this is a little bit from his side.
Right.
Against Siegfried. Totally nice production value.
Götterdämmerung.
He totally has gravitas. Other actors, not so much. So it's a little bit a give and take, considering the movie. And actually, what I read about it later is that it will become a series. And it seems like the movie is put together through the from the episodes, so something like that. It will probably get into a six-part miniseries, and this actually comes with English subtitles. If anyone is interested in a fantasy epic, and even if it says it's only ages 12 and up, it's actually pretty heavy stuff. I was quite surprised that it got just at the age of 12. Hagen, German movie. Okay, Rob, this was my not completely whole, actually.
Oh, you have something special
but
to
this
show?
one, no, because I will probably send this one back because I was too late to cancel it. I was trying to cancel it, and Amazon said, no, unfortunately, it's already on the way, and I already got the big umbrella box set. So this is still sealed, Rob, but when you get that itchy fingers, because you don't know how the steelbook looks, and what goodies are probably could be in there. And then you go on the website and it's sold out, and you think, should I really send it back because I don't need it?
Run a contest.
Or should I open it?
Look, you already have it. Do it. Open it right now.
Because strangely enough, Rob, Scissor is here too.
Do it. The answer on this show is always yes.
Always yes. Because the first thing that surprised me, this was actually not the picture that was on the website. The box looked totally different, and I totally loved the picture here way better. And let me just see what we get here. So we get, of course, all three movies. The third one and the second one in 4K. Actually, there seems to be a 6-disc set, so I don't know how they fit everything.
That's wild, dude.
Everything into that steelbook. Let us find out. So let me just see. Oh damn! This looks shiny, Rob. This looks shiny.
Wow, that's pretty great.
So
now I have a chainsaw. Ho ho ho.
Yeah. Ho ho ho. that was a great reference in Paradise 2, Rob.
Oh, I know. They had to do it.
So, okay. This is probably not thrilling some people. They are just stacked above each other. So you've got the 4.2Ks for 1 and 2, but they have nicely printed. And the first one is just a Blu-ray, not with unlike with the umbrella set, where even the first one was in 4K. And then you have the 3 here as Blu-rays. So that steelbook is actually pretty nice, and you get everything really compact here. Then let me just see if I can put, to see what is on the back here. Oh, that is pretty quiet. Dude, and then the goodie stuff, which comes. It's a nice package with a nice sticker here. Let me just see what we get.
I love that I forced you to open that. Come on, you knew you wanted to anyway. You didn't need me to twist your arm.
Unfortunately, yes, Rob. Unfortunately, yes. So especially when you go to the website and you see it's perhaps not sold out, but the price has gone up.
I feel like the price has gone up on all of our lives.
Yeah, I think I've got everything. So let me just see about this. This is just one free month for streaming service or something like that. Then I got a nice pin here.
Oh, there you go. You can wear that on your tie at work.
Some sticker stuff. Oh, this is actually pretty neat. More like a magnet or something.
Wow, that's some good swag in that box.
Yeah. Then we've got poster artwork. Oh, I think it's got my favorite one from the second. Yes, this is my favorite one from the second.
Wow, I like that 70s poster.
Oh, this looks like we're getting the monetized drop. Come on. First one.
Wow. There you go.
And this is then from the third one.
It's pretty good.
Isn't that nice, Rob?
It is nice.
And we continue. A postcard wishing you Merry Christmas art. Then we have a booklet for it.
Yeah.
And we have some more postcards. Not really postcards, but some nice pictures. Or it's what I have to look. This is so bloody. How? What is the wrong way here? What is the right way to?
I don't know.
Here. Now I get it. This was the flashback scene. Oh, they're pretty shiny. Pretty shiny. Dude.
That's a chock-a-block full of swag.
Yeah,
that Terrifier box set. How much did that cost you?
So Rob, thank you for convincing me.
Yeah, there you go. What did that set you back there, buddy?
Around 60 euros, Rob.
Oh, that's spendy.
Yeah.
Spendy.
Actually, when you considering you get 6 discs, it's actually pretty fair price.
Yeah, it's true.
For it.
It's true.
So the Terrifier,
You're right.
Terrifier set. Rob, and take over so that I can put everything together again. My present.
There you go. I got a Ecto 1701 asks an interesting question. Would you pay $10 more if a 4K disc came with the original soundtrack recording?
What does he mean with a monotrack instead of a Dolby?
No. Like if you got the original soundtrack album.
Oh,
I guess.
on a CD or something.
And some discs there are discs that have done that, have included the soundtrack.
I think Severin put out sometimes the Blue Underground.
Yeah, I would if I like the soundtrack.
Yeah,
I'd have to like the soundtrack, but sure, I think that's a bargain. Why not? Why not?
No.
So yeah. Would you like me to do something else while you're doing that? I wish I had stuff more to show.
You can step into the news section, Rob.
I could talk about how Life Force is very difficult to obtain now. It's running out. If you haven't got your Life Force yet, you want that 4K international version. Just saying. Boy, don't these look good in these cases? I just love putting these things in the cases. They're so good.
For me, it was just as surprising, since I haven't seen the movie for not a long time, how fast-paced it actually is, even if the international version is longer.
Oh, it's the best. The movie's bananas.
Yeah. Banana. Totally.
You never know where it's going to go.
Stick it.
You never know. Hey, you want to? Well, I'll get to it later, but I got to say that. No, it's okay. I'll get to. I'll tell you. I'm going to do something for you that I'm going to do later, but I won't do it now.
Yeah.
So I think that's a good question. I thought that's. I would do it. I would totally pay more money. Give it to me. Why not?
Like I said, it all depends on the movie and the soundtrack itself.
Yeah.
If you love the soundtrack.
Yes. By the way, speaking of True Noir, which I'll talk about a little later, you want to see something crazy? So I was playing with Grok, Elon Musk's Grok on X. It's like their Chat GPT. I just asked it to I asked it to give me a picture of Nathan Heller at the 1933 Chicago World's Fair.
Okay.
This is what it gave me.
What put the AI to together? Look at that.
That
not too far off.
That no, I know, right? That one especially with the Century of Progress, it was actually able to give me text. So I mean, we're all doomed. Just so you know, we're all doomed. There isn't much time left. The clock is ticking.
Yeah, the fall of your civilization, Rob, is corner.
All your base belong to us. Yes, they are. It's all coming. It's all coming down. So you want me to get to the news? What do you want me to do, Dietz? What's up?
Yeah. Or just quick, Rob. I watched one movie on digital. I watched because it's not out here yet. Even it comes from Sony in the States. It has no release date here, and which was surprising because it had that Valentine's theme to it. I watched Hard Eyes, and considering Christopher Landon was one of the writers, we had Happy Death Day doing the time loop stuff. We had Happy Death Day 2, a little bit more with the Back to the Future vibe. We had Freaky with the body swap, and now we have romantic comedy mixed with a slasher. And luckily for me, at least the slasher part was really well done. Some nice kills into it. I don't know if Terrifier had changed the genre a little bit to getting a little bit more of that, what Cody Leach always calls carnage candy, perhaps. The two leads totally had great chemistry, but there wasn't too much left for me to getting out of the rom-com part. But at least the slasher stuff worked for in Hard Eyes.
Have you seen, this is part of the news, have you seen a Shudder movie? Shudder is putting this out.
Okay.
Spoonful of Sugar?
Ooh, sugar. Unfortunately not.
This trailer, I mean, I'd never heard of this movie. I watched the trailer.
Yeah.
It looks great. The trailer was,
okay.
I'm like, Spoonful of Sugar is coming out. It's a new Shudder title. God bless Shudder for putting their movies out on physical media. I have not seen a Spoonful of Sugar, but let me say I want that medicine to go down because it looks really good. It looks really good. I hope it is good. I hope it is good.
Yeah.
So we shall see. But I was very, very I thought that trailer was great. By the way, so I'm going to go into the news. You mind me jumping into the news?
Yeah.
I'm going to start with Vinegar Syndrome. We love Vinegar Syndrome. God bless Vinegar Syndrome, the home of Liquid Sky and Body Melt and so many other good things. They've been raiding the Paramount library, doing great discs, cinematography. I don't know if that's how you pronounce their partner label, but that's how it's spelled. It's whatever the French pronunciation is. They announced a film that is a terrific movie that I'd totally forgotten about, but in the VHS days, it was really big. It's a movie that stars Sting, and it's a terrific movie called Brimstone and Treacle. And they're putting this out in 4K. If you've never seen this movie, I highly recommend it. It's really, really good. Again, it's one of those movies, it's probably best you go into it not knowing anything about it. But I used to watch this movie a lot, like 40 years ago, whenever it came out. And they are putting it out in a new edition. It's up for pre-order in 4K, which is very exciting. And now you've also got In the Belly of an Architect, another film. I mean, again, these are pretty great.
Is that the prequel to The Brutalist, Rob?
No.
No. Okay.
No. But, again, I mean, for them putting something out, this is a Peter Greenaway movie. And if you know Peter Greenaway, he made The Cook, the Thief, His Wife, and Her Lover. And it was up for the Palme d'Or. and I guess you could watch it as a double feature with the Brutalist. But yeah,
I don't know about it, Rob.
but this is a great title that they're putting out.
Yeah.
Great. And then another title, again, also on cinematography, The Last of the Red Hot Lovers, with Paula Prentice, Sally Kellerman, and Alan Arkin. Why is this movie... first of all, this is a Neil Simon movie. It's a great movie. But, so they're putting out... You know who's in this movie? Renee Taylor. Academy Award nominee Renee Taylor, who's also in Tango Shalom, who's also in episode 8 of True Noir, the assassination of Anton Cermak. And for all
Everything comes together.
For all of you lovely people out there, I'm going to play you Renee Taylor's scene from True Noir episode 8 to go along with this. Now remember, Renee Taylor is now in her 90s, and Renee Taylor plays Mrs. Rafosky, who is the mother of P.J. Burns' Barney Ross. And in episode 8, Barney Ross, there is a prize fight in the episode, believe it or not, with a Rocky-esque score and everything. But I'm going to play you, it's just her scene, but this is unmixed. So the sound levels are all over the place. It hasn't been affected. So I'm going to give you a taste. This is an unmixed version. I don't usually play unmixed things, but since she's in The Last of the Red Hot Lovers that cinematography is putting out, I figured if, you know what, and you can go to truenoir.co right now and order the episodes. You can get the first 7 right away, and episode 8, 9, and 10 will be coming out, and then the show will be done, and I don't know what I'm going to do with my life. Or maybe I do. Who knows? But here you go. Here's a special preview. Again, this is unmixed of Renee Taylor, Academy Award nominee screenwriter, believe it or not. She, of course, played Fran Drescher's mom on The Nanny. But here you go.
Barney, if you think that bout was something, wait until you see the wing-ding we got planned at the Morrison.
I'll drop by.
Drop by? You don't even want to celebrate your championship?
That was when a plump, beautifically smiling little middle-aged woman in a simple blue dress came quietly in. Hair in a gray bun. Behind her wire-rimmed glasses were Barney's dark eyes.
Ma!
Barney forgot how tired he was and flew off the training table and embraced the little woman.
Yeah, but Ma, it's Shabbos. I mean, how did you get here? What is it, 5 miles?
It's Shabbos, Beryl. I walked. How else?
5 miles?
I had to come. I knew if I come to see you, you win.
Ma, you hate fighting.
I hate it with a passion, but sitting at home waiting, this I hate more. Aye, besides, if my baby boy can take a little punishment, so can his poor old gray-haired mother.
Anything you say, Ma. Hey, Nate, get over here.
Good to see you, Mrs. Rafosky. Why don't you let me drive you home? Can't you make an exception, riding on the Shabbos? Sick people do it.
Do I look sick to you? 5 miles I walk, and I could still put you over my knee.
Mrs. Rafosky, please, why don't you let your old Shabbos goy drive you home? What else am I good for?
You're a sweet boy, Nathan Heller, but I don't ride after sunset with nobody.
All right, let me take a shower, Ma, and I'll walk you home, all right?
Carol, no showering on Shabbos.
All right, yes, Ma.
Hey, Barney, what about the party? Barney, you gotta come. We're the whole reason you even won.
Nice class of roughnecks you run with, Beryl. Very nice.
All right, I'll be there later, fellas. But first, I gotta walk my best girl home.
And that...
Barney,
So there you go. There's a preview of... You're the first people. That's a world exclusive. That is unmixed. That is Renee Taylor, legendary Renee Taylor.
Rough cut
as
stage.
Barney Ross's mother, Mrs. Rafosky. So there you go. TrueNoir.co.
Back to the news, Rob. To the title. That you
There is a lot more news. We
it
will
was
rock
a
you. We will rock you, Dietz, with this. A Knight's
Yes,
Tale in
Knight's
4K with the Steelbook coming at you from Sony.
Yeah.
They always do a really good job, so that's exciting.
Yeah.
And now we jump on over to Scream Shout Factory. Hoo-ha! We got Scent of a Woman coming out in 4K. Bad man. I'm going to take a flamethrower to this place. Bad man. I love this movie. Directed by Beverly Hills Cop's Martin Brest. And boy, I think this film's terrific. Getting it in 4K. They're also putting out a movie that a lot of people really love. Sky Captain and the World of Tomorrow.
Pre-order.
Coming out in 4K. Great title to have in 4K. And then we've got What Lies Beneath coming to us from Robert Zemeckis, 25th Anniversary Edition, which is very cool. And then they're putting out an animated film, which I don't know anything about, but it's coming out in both its standard edition, the colors within. I mean, already this cover makes me interested. And they're also putting it out in a steelbook, which, I mean, look at that steelbook. This is beautiful. And again, I don't know anything about it, so I didn't even read the description, so it's totally a cat in the bag. But hey, why not? Now, coming up next is what I would consider to be the release of the week. I was so excited. Shout, scream. They're putting out a 4K box set of Blaxploitation Classics Volume 1. Wow. All of these in 4K. I was going to get COFFY from Down Under, but this version of COFFY is in 4K. This set is amazing. I mean, if you're a fan of these blaxploitation films, this is one heck of a, or if you've never seen them, this is a really great collection of blaxploitation movies. So if you've never seen blaxploitation films, it doesn't have Dolomite and it doesn't have Shaft, but these are great movies. First of all, we've got
Volume 1. It's Volume 1.
It is in Volume 1. Across 110th Street. For those of you who saw Jackie Brown, you remember the song. But Across 110th Street stars Anthony Quinn and Yaphet Kotto. And it's a cop thriller with violence to spare. I love this movie. And then Larry Cohen, who directed movies like It's Alive and The Stuff and God Told Me To.
Cue the Winged Serpent.
Cue the Winged Serpent. Black Caesar. Classic Black Caesar. Fred Williamson stars in his signature role of Tommy Gibbs. Black Caesar is amazing. And then the sequel to Black Caesar, Hell Up in Harlem. And the Black Godfather, Tommy Gibbs, Fred Williamson is back, which is very, very cool. And then, of course, the first of the lovely, Pam Grier, hot. They call her Coffee, and she'll cream ya. The great Pam Grier is a one-woman instrument of justice in this no-holds-barred revenge thriller, Coffee. A nurse by day and an avenging angel by night, Coffee turns up the heat when she discovers that her little sister has been doped up by a greedy drug pusher. If you haven't seen Coffee, what's wrong with you? Now you can see it in glorious 4K. And then to follow that up, Sheba Baby. That's right, Sheba Baby. Foxy Brown is hotter than dynamite and just as deadly in this hard-hitting thriller that leaps from one death-defying scene to the next as Sheba Shane, a private eye summoned to her old stomping grounds to help her father keep the mob from moving in on his business. But she gets too close to the fire and narrowly escapes the blast of a car bomb. Gunning for justice, Sheba vows to take revenge. And then, of course, Truck Turner. Truck Turner, starring Isaac Hayes. Oh my God. Football star turned bounty hunter, tracking a sadistic pimp on the mean streets of Los Angeles. Come on, man. And Isaac Hayes did the score for Truck Turner as well. And you know who's in this? You know who's in Truck Turner? Nichelle Nichols. Lieutenant Uhura herself in a role that will make you forget Lieutenant Uhura, and you're going to be like, oh my God, Lieutenant, really? And Scatman Crothers. And
Are they all from the same studio? Okay, now they are from Shout Select, but are they?
I think they're from
the
that's a good question. I think they're from different studios. I'd have to do research into that.
Just because get them all together, licensing rights.
Yeah, I don't know if they. That's a good question. But this is a great selection of films. This is a must own box set. I was so excited to see this, and I once got taken to task. Somebody said to me online a couple of years ago when I was talking about blaxploitation movies, they're like, "That's racist. You can't call them blaxploitation." I'm like, okay, it's a genre. And I mean, now we're getting a box set. The fact that we're getting this box set is a celebration. It's a celebration. So take your comments and keep them to yourself, because we're getting Blaxploitation Volume 1.
It's called that way. Yeah.
That's right, man. So I am very, very excited, which is good. Very excited. So Blaxploitation Volume 1 coming from Scream Factory. Shout Factory. I don't know the difference. Shout, Select, Scream. It's all the same. But they're putting it out, and you should pre-order it. And then we have, are you going to get this? Pink Floyd live in Pompeii. I bet this sounds amazing.
Yeah. They played in Pompeii a live gig, something like that.
Yeah, it's a lot.
I think I've seen it back in the day, but not for a long time.
Well, it's coming out. Not to be confused with Mouse Hunt with Nathan Lane.
In 4K. Coming out in 4K.
Coming out in 4K from Kino. Then there's this. I mean, you should love this. American Expendables.
Rob actually pre-ordered it this morning.
I mean, this is the most Dieter Bastian cover I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, but it is a documentary.
It's a documentary on. Yes, it's a documentary on this era, and I have not seen this documentary, but
me neither.
It's coming out
but
from.
Of course, I looked at it, and it's gotten some good reviews. So I said,
this award-winning documentary celebrates some of the unsung action stars of the late '80s and early '90s in the North American Pictures catalog, from Cynthia Rothrock to Bolo Young and Billy Blanks. The film explores the martial arts craze in the U.S. and the ferocious appetite of video store customers for these titles. And in this documentary, Lloyd Kaufman is in it, John Brennan, Debbie Rochon, James Richardson, and it's from director Thomas Seymour, who made VHS Massacre 1 and 2. And in addition to this, there's extended interviews with Lloyd Kaufman and Debbie Rochon, and there's a 24-minute documentary, McLeod, There Can Be Only One, and an additional 80-minute action film called The Fountain of Death. So what a package this is. So if you're interested, there you go. And then I love that 88 Films, or pardon me, 101 Films is putting out Full Moon movies. I mean, I worked at Full Moon when they were making Shrunken Heads. And they're giving them, 101 Films is making these movies look a lot better than they really are. But that's okay. 101 Films is putting out Shrunken Heads.
They did their job, Rob. Then they did their job.
They did their job. You go, 101 Films. And Creepazoids. Yeah, so let me tell you, these movies are not nearly as good as these covers. So 101 Films is definitely doing their job. And Discotheque Media is putting out some Asian stuff. Lupin the Third, the live-action movie, coming out. And then they've got some...
But isn't there on Netflix that Lupin series?
That's Lupin series is in French series. This is the Asian Lupin the Third. And then you've got Professor Layton, Eternal Diva, an animated film. Don't know anything about this, but they're putting it out and they never cover them. And then we've got Angel Heart that does not star Mickey Rourke and Robert De Niro, but it's an animated film. Then they're giving us some Super Sentai. Android Kakator. And then we got Robo Jan Person. Again, Super Sentai. And then Flame of Recca,
Flame.
the complete collection. Don't know anything about this, but I figured, I don't cover them much, so
42 episodes.
I throw it in honor of Israel. And the Street Fighter, the animated series. They're putting it all out. Discotheque Media. You go, Discotheque. And then we've got, does anybody here remember Vera Lynn? I don't. I've never seen this show. Don't know anything about it. But Via Vision is putting it out. 1,500 copies, limited edition hardbox. They do a good job with their TV shows. I think this is a British show. It might be Australian. Have no idea. If somebody can tell me what it is, I can't tell you anything about it. But it's coming out. And so is Dancing Buds of May. I want to remake it. The Dank Nugs of May. I look at the Dancing Buds of May, and to me, it's got to be a show about growing pot. That's why I would want to see the Dank Nugs of May. That would be my Robert Burnett remake. But I don't know anything about this either. But Via Vision is putting out Dank Nugs of May, and you should pick it up if you want. I don't know anything about it. I won't be getting it. And this is Film Masters. 4 wrote out. I believe Sue Lyon is in this. Lolita herself. Don't know anything about this movie. It's a Western. But Film Masters is putting it out, which is good. And this is interesting, too. Film Movement is putting out Mother Couch. Mother Couch. Now, I don't know. Wow, since I did my thing, there's let me read what Mother. They always put in new titles. So listen to this title: Ewan McGregor, Rise Eye fans, Taylor Russell, and Ellen Burstyn. The members of a dysfunctional family find themselves mysteriously trapped in an antiquated furniture store when their elderly matriarch, played by Ellen Burstyn, suddenly refuses to get up from one of the display couches. Reluctantly assembled, her 3 estranged children, David, Grafud, and Linda, who's played by Laura Flynn Boyle, must figure out how to escape this bizarre predicament. With the help of store managers Marco and Marcus, played by F. Murray Abraham, and their daughter Bella, played by Taylor Russell, the siblings must embark on a mind-bending odyssey that forces them to face life-altering truths about their own lives and upbringing. Boasting sensational performances from an A-list cast, and this movie marks Nicholas Larson as a major new voice in breakthrough cinema. I've never heard of this movie, but I'm just curious from a filmmaking perspective.
The cover artwork, Rob. Cover artwork is great.
Oh, it's great. But does that mean that Ellen Burstyn just sits in the couch and the whole movie is set in the furniture store? Don't know, but I want to get it just to find out. So if you know anything about this movie, I'm perfectly willing to listen. Then we've got Invasion USA. No, not that one. The first one from the 50s. Coming out again from Film Masters. It also includes the movie Rocket Attack USA. And this is from 1952. 1952. I bet you didn't know. I don't think, maybe it was, let me read you what this is about. 5 people are sitting in a New York bar with a mysterious Mr. Omen when they hear the news that the Soviets are invading the good old US of A. The 5 rush off to various sections of the country to do their part to stop the invasion when an A-bomb crashes down upon Manhattan. I mean, I'm sold. I've never seen it, but man, you're going to fail-safe me? I gotta watch that. So that's coming out again from Film Masters. So that's pretty exciting. Then we have, you got to buy this, Tony Jaa, Striking Rescue.
I know, Rob. I know.
What do you mean you know?
Finally, Tony Jaa with a new movie.
And look at that cover. I love it. I know. Is this a pre-order for you, buddy? You know it is.
Yeah, totally.
And now this is coming out for another movie I know nothing about, but coming out from Kino Lorber. Just the cover alone has me sold on this one. The Magnificent 7 Deadly Sins. A madcap satire of English propriety, Graham Stark's The Magnificent 7 Deadly Sins unleashes Britain's naughtiest, bawdiest comedians upon their capital vices. While it may fall short of its claim of being the funniest film with the greatest all-star comedy cast ever, Its abundant sight gags and double entendres make it the perfect specimen and a unique form of risque humor, and it is a veritable who's who of British comedy. With its episodic structure, animated interstitials, and script work by Graham Chapman, the film often evokes the irreverent spirit of Monty Python's Flying Circus, but the comedy of the magnificent Seven Deadly Sins is of a kinder and gentler nature, expressing a warm nostalgia for simpler times before the sexual revolution turned such lovable comedians into cultural dinosaurs. I don't know. Sounds interesting. I'd be interested in seeing that, but it's coming. And guess what?
Kino Cult number 30.
I know it's Kino Cult movie, so that's wild. I mean, Kino Cult's label, you never know what you're going to get from Kino Cult, but it's one of the most eclectic and interesting. I mean, you can put this right next to The Beast Within. Crazy. Then we have Radiance coming in hot for May. Once again, bringing us films from all over the world. Oh, this is probably their June batch of releases. And this is the tale of I Was Ghost, and which, who knows? Who knows? Could be great, probably is. Now, here's a cover that I'm surprised it came out. Palindromes, Todd Solondz's movie. So that's pretty good. And this is a 4K from Radiance. It's a 4K Blu-ray combo pack. It is in Dolby Vision, and it is HDR, and there's new special features for it, and they use the original negative, and the Museum of Modern Art approved, and Todd Solondz was involved. So, I mean, if you like the film, that's pretty cool. Then we have La Terra Trema. Is that The World Shakes? Visconti, Luciano Visconti. So I've never seen this, but I like Visconti, so hey, I'd watch this. Why not? And then part of their great series, this is number 3 in their World Noir Volume 3 series. These are great discs. And it's got Not Guilty, The Lost One, and The Girl with the Hyacinths. So, and this is a Nordic noir, and then of course that's Peter Lorre on the cover in The Lost One, and Not Guilty is a French film. So you got Norway, and you got a French film, and then you've got a film that's about post-war Germany, where you're from. So there you go. Not bad. And these are great. These are great titles. So, and then of course they're re-releasing Haxan as a regular version, so that's cool. Okay, and then we've got King of Kings, and I think this is Cecil B. DeMille's original King of Kings. It is Cecil B. DeMille's original King of Kings, and this is from 1927. So it does not have the captain of the Enterprise, Jeffrey Hunter, who was in that other King of Kings. But hey, there you go. Rick and Morty's The Anime is coming out. So if you like Rick and Morty, hey, there you go. And then we've got Tarpon, which I know nothing about Tarpon, to be honest. But Film Movement is also putting this out. And this film is from 1973. And it's a movie about fly fishing.
Yeah.
So why not? So this was shot in the 1970s in Key West. Tarpon fishing and stunning cinematography transports the viewer to another era, a time and place where the line between philosopher, scoundrel, hippie, and eccentric was nearly indiscernible. So there you go. If you are a tarpon fisherman, this is the movie for you. Then we have The Bottoms coming out. There you go. The Bottoms.
About that, Rob, because it was announced, then it disappeared completely. And I was thinking it would never see the light of day again. But here it is. Finally. Bottoms.
Yes. Bottoms is coming out.
Awesome.
So, and that's coming out from Kino Lorber. Now, this upcoming thing is another movie. It's coming out from Shameless. And Shameless has put out some great exploitation titles. So I'm definitely going to get this. The House with the Laughing Windows. I've never seen this movie, but it's by Pupi Avati, and this is from 1967. Often mentioned yet rarely seen, Pupa Avati's legendary cult horror masterpiece finally gets the release it deserves. Restored and remastered under the director's supervision, it is presented with new audio, new improved subtitles, plus a new exclusive interview with Avati, making this the definitive release of this exquisite masterpiece. Stefano, a young artist, arrives in a tranquil Italian village to restore the local church's fresco of the Saint Sebastian Martyr, depicting the saint's bloody body slashed by arrows, painted some years earlier by a deranged local artist who, the villagers hint, created snuff paintings by torturing his models who were in the throes of dying when he painted them. Gradually, Stefano discovers the rumors about the painter might be true, as the village's gruesome and taboo secret unravels into a seething web of madness, gory deaths, and unspeakable horror, culminating in a final diabolical twist and a jaw-dropping conclusion. Come on, man. Who doesn't want to see that?
So you sold me on that one.
I know, right? Don't you want to have the house with the laughing windows? And then there's this. Oh, wait a minute. No, that's
Holy
not.
moly.
Fuck that. Fuck all that. I don't want to talk about that. Then, of course, I already mentioned Spoonful of Sugar. Okay. If any of you heathens want to buy this swill, you can get it in 4K in a steelbook.
So Rob, Spoonful of Sugar is coming out as a Blu-ray. You
Yes.
weren't asking just for the movie itself.
That's right. No, this is coming out as a Blu-ray.
That's great. That's great.
Yeah, you all know it was on the screen before. I don't have to talk about that.
Yeah.
And I don't want to talk about that. So, yeah, Spoonful of Sugar is coming out on Blu-ray on April 29th. And the trailer made it look great. And then we have the He-Man animated series from Netflix.
Yeah.
And what's interesting is that it's coming out in a steelbook. And it's both Revolution
But
and
only
Revelation.
in America at the moment.
Yes, Mill Creek is putting it out. But it's interesting that the Netflix, that it would be put out.
Yeah.
And then so that's cool. And then we have a movie coming out from 1974, a Japanese film called The Oldest Profession. We all know what that is. Mm-hmm. And let me read. This is really interesting. Description: 19-year-old Tomi is a sex worker who draws in customers around the red light district of Osaka. She lives with her mentally disabled younger brother, her mother, who is also still active as a sex worker despite being over 40 years old. Gosh. One day, after receiving a request for a young girl, Tomei goes to the designated inn. On arrival, she encounters Yon, who is unable to find work. A few days later, Yon tells Tomi that she is pregnant. 20 years have passed since the prostitution prevention law was enacted, and the red light district is now gone. Nonetheless, sex work as a profession persists. Nobu Tanaka's controversial film, also known as Lusty Beast Market, portrays sorrowful but strong and resilient women who have no other choice but to earn a living by selling their bodies. Well, nowadays, you just have an OnlyFans. But anyway,
win Oscars with kind of that movies.
It's true. You do win Oscars. And then, of course, a favorite for a lot of people, Kingpin, coming out from Kino Lorber. Hey, people love this movie, so why not? And let's look at the charts. Actually, you know what? My final follow-up is look what's coming out in Dolby Atmos. And this cover is this. If you go to the Super Deluxe Edition store, SDE, Super Deluxe Edition, you can get it. That's right. I mean, last year was its 40th anniversary, but Purple Rain.
Nice.
Dearly beloved, I'm gathered here with you to listen to this in Dolby Atmos. And this is the special slipcase that Super Deluxe Edition has as an exclusive. Dig, if you will, that picture, Dieter. I'm very excited. You know I'm a huge Prince fan. Purple Rain, such a great album. I really wish they would do 1999 though. They did a great release of Diamonds and Pearls in Atmos, which is amazing. And I will be buying this, and so should everybody else. Now you can get this on Amazon, but it's a major release. It's not a Super Deluxe Edition exclusive, but this cover you can only get from Super Deluxe Edition. Yeah. And by the way, the last Super Deluxe Edition titles that sold out were In Excess's Listen Like Thieves and Roxy Music's Avalon. But I'm a huge fan, as you know, because I've shown them all that I bought. Yeah. But anyway, the top-selling Blu-ray discs, all formats: Wicked, Nosferatu, Amadeus, Venom: The Last Dance, The Substance, No Country for Old Men, The Order. There you go, Dieter. It's up there. Nice. Constantine, great. Doctor Who, Sylvester McCoy, The Complete Season 2. And then Twisters. And then we have top-selling 4K Ultra HD discs. Nosferatu is number 1. Amadeus is number 2, where it should be. Wicked is 3. No Country for Old Men is 4. Constantine is 5. The Forbidden Kingdom, which is an Amazon exclusive, is number 6.
Didn't know that it was an Amazon exclusive. Didn't know that.
Yeah. Yeah, The Substance, Venom: The Last Dance, Civil War, which has a great Charlie Lazarica documentary on it, and Transformers 1.
It's always nice to see Rob Civil War jump from number 66 in the top 10 again. So Schnäppchen, probably.
Probably, yeah, they probably. But it's a good movie. Great disc, by the way.
Yeah. Certainly.
So there you go, some bangers.
Yeah. If we don't have any super chats, Rob, you can take a break. If you want.
let me see. Let me see if we have super chats. Yeah. I don't want to miss anyone.
Correct.
Des Doyle says, Darling Buds of May, you mean the Dankest Nugs of May, is an ITV series that introduced Catherine Zeta-Jones to the world. Wow. See, it takes an Irishman to tell us this, to spill the tea. It also starred David Jason from Only Fools and Horses fame. Well, that's interesting. I didn't know that. Walter White Walker says, took your advice and started Paradise and went in blind. Lee Horsley and the little girl from Troll are great. I love the opening theme. Different Paradise, but I understand where you're coming from. That's pretty damn funny. Yeah. Hitchhiker 42 celebrates 22 months of membership. Amazon said my Life Force was out for delivery and then just canceled it. Which means they never sent it and just took my money and then refunded it. Well, you got your money, but you're going to pay more on the open market. Danzig 1979 celebrates 14 months of membership, and Kelvin Wellborn has been a member for 35 months. Gosh, when you see it that way, you realize you're closer to death than you've ever been, which is kind of a bummer. But what are you going to do?
Are you just see, Rob, how long and old your channel actually is? You know?
And how old I am. But anyway, that's we're caught up, and I will turn it. Well, wait, hang on a second. Let me just check. Let me check one more. No, that was right. Let me just refresh and make sure that I'm okay here. Yep, we're all good. We are all caught up.
Okay.
So over to you, buddy.
I say, previously on Let's Get Physical Media, Roman Chopper. If Anora wins, that would mean the end of the US for me. There you go. It's the end of times. Major Chai Chai. Deeds, that tie is blinding me. You know, I love shiny things. What can I do, Major Chai Chai? Then the tie served its purpose. Todd Jones had an article last week that he read about DVDs, the DVDs from Warner from a specific time era being injected or afflicted by laser rod. And Todd Jones says, thanks, Warner Brothers. Luckily, I don't have any of those. Only just recently started buying physical media. Rob, can you imagine? Just started buying when we have all we would have all the space again, you know, and just starting now.
This is my
starting
45th
now.
year buying physical media. By the way, Max Allen Collins told me that he has been going through some of his box sets and things of the era between 2006 and 2008, and a lot of them indeed do not work.
Oh, okay.
And things from really like Betty Davis box sets and things like that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's bad. And hopefully they will have. I'm sure it was a manufacturing issue of that time. I mean, it wasn't necessarily Warner Brothers' fault because they don't manufacture their own discs. But it's too bad. But hopefully,
It's a bummer.
Something will happen.
Yeah. And Diggy Holmes asked, "Are my Blu-ray safe?" I would hope so that they are at the moment.
And
At
also,
the moment,
Blu-ray is a
have
little
had
bit.
at any. Yeah, it's different. And at the moment, I don't think I have never come across a Blu-ray that didn't work. At least for
I haven't either.
now.
A lot of people talk about they can't play or they haven't upgraded their firmware or things aren't playing. But Blu-rays work more like a computer program, computer disc, as opposed to DVDs. So,
DVD.
and I haven't come. Then again, I probably have discs I haven't played in 10 years, if at all. But so yeah, I don't know. But I have never come across one of my discs that didn't work.
Yeah. And Alpendal says, "I'm surprised that Rob sells this as news. This is old coffee in the net." Okay. The Alex Sorber, "Good thing my free Enterprise DVD isn't from Warner. Lucky you. Lucky you." Todd Jones, "Dieter breathed a sigh of relief on that. He has 7 copies. Yeah, it's always good to have more copies of stuff. If some of the other copies don't work anymore." Todd Jones, "Weird to have Captain America movie without Captain America." Roman Chopin, "I have decided to boycott the US films as much as possible, given how disgusting the country became." Okay. Always some politics.
But what does that have to do with movies that have already been made?
Straight. Yeah. Todd Jones, "I've called the fashion police on Dieter, considering my nice tie that I wear. And asked Plato, sent the entire department." And Todd Jones continued, "I told them to send everyone. They said everyone, and I said everyone." Leon the Professional. Such a good movie. Such a good movie. Danzig, 1979. "Dieter, have you said thank you yet?" "No, I'm holding all the cards. The other one has to say thank you." "No?" Das Plato, "Paradise has been predictable so far." Come on, Das Plato. And Major Scheitzer says, "Yeah, but it's done well. Like Dieter, I like Marston's performance. Totally. Danzig, 1979. "Okay, you've convinced me, Dietz. We'll watch Paradise. Report back to us." T.M. Martin, Esquire, "I want to see the Gene Hackman in Memoriam segment presented by Morgan Freeman." That's actually what we are really gotten last week. Gordon Liddell, "I also started watching Paradise because of R&B's recommendation. I absolutely love it. He's also the reason that I watched For All Mankind." Yeah,
That's what I like to hear. Look, I would not steer you wrong.
Yeah.
And if you think I
Those
steered
are
you
two
wrong, you're
easy-
wrong.
Yeah, too easy recommendation. T.M. Martin, Esquire, "I wonder how many people actually saw The Brutalist." I think he means from the jury who can vote for. We don't know. We will never know. Castle Grayskull, "What did Dieter win for? He already has his Oscar." Yeah, I have this Oscar. And what is this actually for?
Oh, well, there you go.
This is from way, way back when I really had some pull rope, when I had the biggest TV, but this is way, way from the past. Now I'm at the bottom, not even rocking a 4K here, so I'm at the bottom now. But this was back from the day.
It's okay. We still love you.
Victor Fontaine, "Surprised Dieter got the Blu-ray of The Substance and not the 4K. No, this US is the 4K, Victor. The other one was the Australian. This was just the Australian one was just a Blu-ray, but I love the Activators slip cover that the
Yeah, it's really
Australian
cool.
had. Yeah, considering it reminds us of Reanimator and such things. Adventure Square, Saw Influencer on Shudder last year. It was well made and pretty good, correctly. It's awesome considering the social media aspect of the movie. Totally great. Todd Jones, Endor was pretty boring. I don't think it was boring. The problem for me, Todd Jones, with Endor was they gave away how the story is structured. They told us, oh, we have always a three episode story structure. And then you can, Endor had a problem that it was not really surprising because you can guess what the steps will be. Okay, he learns his crew. Now they're doing the heist. You don't have to get attached to anyone. Probably no one will survive. So you can always predict how the show will go on. And they learned from their mistakes because I've read Endor Season 2 will be coming with 3 episodes each week. So if they are planning to do the same, at least you can get the story arc complete and don't have to wait until the next week. Gone Vidal. I still can't justify spending money on Mandalorian Season 3. Have 1 and 2, but 3 is just not good. Apocalypse Cow. Dieter and Rob need to run a studio. We're gladly if we can manage the B&B Motel. How should we run a studio? Come on.
We could do it.
We can do it. Okay. Mevin Bevan. Robert Meyer Burnett is the best. Stubble McShape. Dieter buys as many movies in a week as I buy in 6 months. Correct, Stubble. You have a curated buying and not so curated buying of titles. Mastermind. MMA Media. R&B has a calming and comforting effect to me. And to me, too.
I hope I don't
Always
put you to sleep.
love to hear. So. Danzig, 1979. Films that have not aged well. Rob, don't say Goonies. He couldn't say Goonies. He always hated Goonies back in the day, so the movie can't dip in quality for him.
No, it can't.
It was always trash for him. So it can't age well, that badly. Ecto 1701. Watched The Crow with my son yesterday. He found the FX terrible. Okay. Castle Grayskull. There are a lot of us that have not aged well too. Who do you mean, Castle Grayskull? Have not aged well. Unbelievable. Thin Ice. Tim Hens. Wow, never expect Rob to read out my letter I sent him by email earlier this week. Yeah. Things can happen, Tim. Things can happen. Wishes can come true. Derek, if Dune Part 2 doesn't win Best Picture, I will nuke the Earth. Okay? I'm waiting, Derek. Tim Hens, Daylight is great. Rob, had you watched Daylight? Have you watched Daylight from the?
I have not watched. You know what?
It's.
I like I said. I've been working. Working. Like I'm gonna go work. I mean, I haven't even taken off the shrink wrap.
Yeah, I can.
So, like it says, hold your breath.
Exactly.
So,
Miele.
There you go.
I turned down a threesome with 2 Japanese girls for the Force Awakens opening night. First show. I did not choose wisely. Well, Miele, even if the movie would be the best movie in the world, you would have not chosen wisely.
Yeah. First of all, who turns down a threesome with 2 Japanese girls?
Yeah.
Why would you do that? Like that it sounds like when Max Allen Collins didn't go out with his wife so he could watch an episode of Maverick.
But for him, it turned out.
It worked out okay.
It
worked out okay.
Yeah.
But that's a Burnett
axiom.
axiom.
You didn't have that many choices, Rob. If someone was on TV, you better watch it. You can record it. It's not. But the Force Awakens, you can watch the next day, next week.
There's only one other truism, to use a movie reference. Are you a god? You know what that's from? Come on. If someone asks you if you're a god, you say yes. I'm disappointed. We're not doing this show anymore. So if someone asks you if you're a god, you say yes. And if 2 Japanese girls ask you to have a threesome with them, you say yes. No exceptions. It's Ghostbusters, dude. It's Ghostbusters.
Oh, okay.
Have you even seen it?
Stubble McShape. I have seen it, Rob, but I don't know all the lines that to
Come on, man.
well. Stubble McShave. I watched Jaws when I was 8. That gave me nightmares. Yeah, I can imagine that. Even if you are just going into the bathtub, no place with water was safe anymore. Played Out says, haven't seen that Jackie Chan flick, Dragon Fist. Yeah, really good one, but without comedy. Roman Chopra. Wonder what kind of profession would Dieter have in that outfit in the Fifth Element universe? Probably the Ruby Rod, moderator. Or the White Walker. I was really hoping Sin City 2 was better. Okay. Alpendal. My 10-year-old Sin City 2 media book is also that big. It also has a comic in it, so nothing new. 4K would be nice, but not that. So it's probably what I got, more of a reprint with the comic. Super performing artist, love Sin City 2. Oh, nice. Derek Sorber, I did not like Sin City 2, and that is all I remember about it. Uncle Jimmy, I know now it's considered ridiculous. When I was a kid and He-Man fan, this was great. Totally.
Frank Langella's Skeletor is still great.
Yeah. And then, Rob, I'm almost through. I'm missing the last episode, Prison School. And we always talk about, Rob, considering, a Serbian film or other stuff, that you should perhaps be ashamed to have. Robs, and perhaps I should be a little bit ashamed to have.
Should you? I don't even know what that is. What is that? What is Prison School?
Yeah, this is the the live action one from the animated stuff. And you have all those guys who have only two things on their mind, with t-shirt contest, boobs and butts, and then of course they have to go to prison school and getting reformed by the girls,
That looks like something I would enjoy.
Yes, certainly, Rob. Adventure Square Prison School looks wacky and amusing. It was. I'm only missing the last episode. And Eucalyptus Prison School anime is very raunchy. Yeah, and I think perhaps if that Prison School box set gets price reduced, I need that too.
Speaking of anime, you know what? If I could make a live action anime, I'd make a live action Bible Black.
Oh,
let me tell you. And then I would be drummed out of the United States.
Yeah, and considering the cards that I showed, Rob, with the nice bikini butts, Walter White Walker says, "Mom, Dieter is showing us porn again." Played Out Coffee Table. Definitely never saw anything quite like it. You're totally right on that one. Another great recommendation from Rob. Albedal. Most of the people in cinemas today think they are in a McDonald's. No wonder that people won't come back. And Thomas Logan, if Dieter was a studio head, we'd had 60-minute feature films. And they would be awesome pacing. Okay. Todd Jones, you don't need bladder control for long movies. Just buy an XL drink and reuse the cup. Miele, a family sitting behind brought a Nintendo Switch to the movie. I'm not surprised at all about that. Miele, Dieter reminds me of the guy that says, I'll buy that for $1. I would certainly do. That's a Schnäppchenjäger. Super Shogokin C. Hey Dieter, lass dich nicht verarschen. Which means don't let them fool you. Because we had, Rob, always the discussion, Alien, theatrical version versus director's cut. And T.M. Martin Esquire, Ripley was single, no kids. Channel Surf, I love the sentry guns. Walter White Walker, there's a cutscene from the first Alien movie where Bill Murray plays her husband. Todd Jones, Dieter is right on the money here. Stubble McShave, Dieter is wrong. Danzig 1979, hearing Dieter press the buzzer only serves to remind me that the original Planet of the Apes films still have no 4K release. Come on, Sony, Disney. When will we get the titles? So then we can go ape, finally.
It's true.
Yannick Sorber, Dieter is on the right side. No Money G, I actually like the director's cut. To me, it added more and not just the runtime. David Animal Guy, the sentry gun scene is my favorite part of the movie. And just to reiterate, people, for me, Alien, the theatrical version, is a 10 out of 10, and the director's cut is still an awesome movie, a 9 out of 10. So it's not that it drops in quality at all. And if somebody would come over and say he would love to see the director's cut, not a problem at all. Both movies, the movie is still great, of course, no matter the version. Todd Jones, does Germany have knights? Dieter could get knighted for services to physical media. I would take that. And Miele is interested, does Dieter support T2 director's cut? Yes, I'm a big fan of the extended cut. It is my preferred cut. So even if they would do a new 4K transfer for the theatrical version, I would probably buy it, but for me, it is the extended cut. Considering Terminator 2, I can't live without the scene. So it's actually the reverse thing when it comes to Terminator 2. Todd Jones, I only just noticed Dieter's Oscar, I assume Best Actor in The Secret Exchange, was Home Cinema Oscar. Jens, Mr. Burnett, are you drinking moonshine? No, Rob drinks water, just from the big jars that look like.
No, everyone always asks that. How could you? I couldn't speak. Even I couldn't speak. There's been plenty of times when I've been on the internet and could barely speak. If I were to drink anything this full, any alcohol, I would not be able to talk. This is not moonshine. This is just simply ice water.
Yeah. It's water. And the Mans wanted to have Dune Part 2 all the way at the Oscars. And Paul and Bonotto, Dune 2 should win Best Picture, but won't. William Cody, Conclave is not a good movie. Okay? Major Chai, I want Flo to win Best Animated Feature. And it did, Major Chai. I still have to see that. And Thomas Logan, The Brutalist, wins everything. No, Thomas, it actually won exactly the 3 that it deserved. Adrian Brody, cinematography, and score. It was exactly the 3 right ones. Okay, Rob, this was the live chat from last
okay, we got
week.
a few more chats coming in from people.
Yeah, coming in.
First of all, Bo Edmonds says answers to Star Trek trivia are on section 31.
No, Rob doesn't need to do that.
Major Chai gifted 4 memberships. 4 memberships.
Nice.
The Green Lodge, Miele, John D. 212, Sean Christopher, the captain of the first mission to Saturn. We learned that in Tomorrow's Yesterday, but that's another Star Trek thing. Miele and BCH. Paul Allen Bernotto says, hi, Robin Dieter. I'm supposed to see you later. I don't know what time you're going to be around. Hi, Robin Dieter. Hope the Bond 4K box set is releasing later this year a proper remaster. I keep hearing that there's going to be this box set, but I don't see confirmation of it. Yeah. We'll see. Yeah. Hopefully, I think they've been remastered. I would hope so. I mean, but I think we're only getting the Connerys. Who knows what we're going to get? I want definitive, the 25 James Bond movies of Eon, of Dan Jank. I want to see all of that.
Had a good idea to split them up, Rob, but you could do a complete box, but you could split them up, the Connery ones, even with Never Say Never Again, 7.
Well,
then
you could.
Roger Moore one, 7, and then Dalton, Lazenby, and Craig.
I just, I mean, look, Never Say Never. I object to Never Say Never again. And
of course, a complete box set as well,
Yeah. Then you'd have to put the funny Casino Royale and the Barry Nelson American James Bond, where he played Jimmy Bond and Peter Lorre played Le Chiffre. That was done for American television. The actual first. I have that though on Blu-ray. I think Kino put that out. I think. Castle Grace Skull says Dieter and Robert are lovely men. Kisses from Canada. I don't know, Grace, if your fellow countrymen would feel the same way about us. But we love Canada. I began my drinking career in Canada when I went to the 1986 World's Fair, the Expo. That was the first time I ever saw Show Scan. And, of course, one of my favorite Canadian writers, Michael Slade, which is actually a pen name, the final Special X book's coming out. For those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, if you like the X-Files and you like serial killers, one of the greatest authors' book series is the Special X series of books. Check this out. So Michael Slade is the name of the author, which was actually a pen name for 3 Crown prosecuting attorneys in Vancouver. And they started writing their books the same time like Red Dragon came out, a little out. I think they started in 84. And so the RCMP, Americans think the Royal Canadian Mounted Police are funny, but they're not. They're police. But imagine if there was the Special X division. This is way before the X-Files. The Special X division of the RCMP. And that's what these books are about. And they're these diabolical, horribly gory in a great way, serial killer books. And there are 2 different detectives. There's Zink Chandler and Robert DeClerc. And they're separate books, and then they meet and team up. And you've got the whole... But the first 4 books, Headhunter, Ghoul, Cutthroat, and Ripper, are all awesome. And they all combine actual Canadian history into the stories of these serial killers. And but I had read Headhunter was great. And what's really interesting is Michael Slade, Jay Clark, who was one of the original writers, is going back, and he had Headhunter Reimagined come out because the books are so dated in terms of technology. He wanted to update the books. So just as a recommendation, all this has been brought about by Castle Grayskull being in Canada. But if you want to read a series of banger books and you like that kind of stuff and you are interested in Canadian history, read the Michael Slade novels. Start with Headhunter. But Ghoul is jaw-dropping. Is a jaw-dropping book. I mean, maybe now it wasn't jaw-dropping, but when I read it in spring break at my grandparents' house in Palm Springs, I used to go visit them, and I would just sit by the pool and read books. I read that book in Palm Springs, and I literally exclaimed amongst all these very elderly, proper Jewish people, I was like, holy shit, when I finally realized what was happening. I said it out loud at the pool, and everyone was looking at me. I'm like, sorry. Yeah, so there you go, Castle Grayskull. If you don't, by the way, if you want to read another great Canadian fantasist, Charles DeLint is a great Canadian writer, and Robert Charles Wilson has written some great science fiction. Here's his first nonfiction book, Owning the Unknown, which is science fiction. A science fiction writer explores atheism, agnosticism, and the idea of God. Big fan of this writer, just so you know. So there you have it. And the last Special X book is coming out. Okay. All my favorite series that have been running for 40 years are disappearing. That's why I'm reviving Nathan Heller, even though there's one more Nathan Heller book. That's going to end too. True Noir. The Assassination of Anton Cermak. Get it right now. But that's it. We're done. We have nothing more to say, right? Uh-oh.
Okay, then I have all the cards, so I have all the cards. Have you time, Rob, for one?
Why not? Let's see what's going to happen.
We're still at the original series, Rob, and that could be easy peasy. Oh, look what card we got here.
Wow. Okay.
I need lights. I need lights, Rob. The print is way too small for me to read. First question, Rob. What did Captain Kirk build with raw materials to defeat the Gorn?
I mean, a cannon?
What did Captain Kirk build with raw materials to defeat the Gorn?
A cannon.
Correct, Rob. A primitive cannon. Correct, Rob. Who transported Captain Kirk and the Gorn to a planetoid for a fight to the death?
The Metrons.
Who transported Captain... Correct, Rob. Correct. The Gorn forces destroyed the Earth outpost on what planet?
Cestus 3.
Correct. Cestus 3. When did Kirk kill the Gorn?
He didn't.
Correct, Rob. That is the correct answer. That is the correct answer, Rob. A trick question here, Rob. Kirk didn't kill the Gorn.
No, he
Is the
didn't.
correct answer.
He showed a quality of mercy which surprised the Metrons.
Yeah. I was when I'm reading the question, I thought, wait, Rob always tells us he didn't. And then I saw the answer. Oh, trick question. Okay. Last one, Rob. What instrument did Captain James Kirk use to speak with the Gorn? What instrument?
A universal translator.
Correct, Rob. Correct. 5 for 5, Rob. Just as with the Oscars, but perhaps pretty easy. But the trick question was
that was a trick one.
Was tricky. Rob. Yeah.
You just got to go with your gut. Answer it.
Yeah. It's always, Rob. Always. Yeah. Another one down. Another one down. And I think we're through, Rob.
I think we're through. And you got an
chats.
early day tomorrow.
Yeah.
Castle Grayskull. Let me just make sure I don't want to miss anybody.
Yeah.
They sent in tips.
But luckily, we started an hour early for me, Rob, because we have not switched times yet.
That's right.
That's great for me.
So we are done.
We are done. Okay. So from my end, watch Paradise. And I say, jede Person, die du triffst, hat eine Geschichte zu erzählen, die du noch zu hören hast. Alles, was du tun musst, ist zuhören.
Every person you meet has a story to tell that you have yet to hear. And all you have to do is listen. And I also want to say thank you to everybody. Thanks to Tom Jr. Jackson, who is one of the world's great moderators. Lord Toth. Everyone says Lord Thoth. I'm waiting.
Okay.
It's Toth. That's how you pronounce TH. Lord Toth.
Pick easier names, people.
I know. And I don't know if anyone else is here, but thank you for moderating. I want to thank everybody that generously supports this channel via Super Chats and tips. Thank you all for that. And we'll be back next week with more.
Yeah. Thank you for watching.
Yeah. Now I'm going to jump over to George the Giant Slayer and have people yell at me like, how come you hang out with people that are... I don't understand. People are always asking me, why do you hang out with these people? Why do you hang out with these people? I'm like, why wouldn't I? Because we have differing views. Why shouldn't I hang out with people? Lots of people have differing viewpoints. And in this world, it's I think it's more important than ever to hang out with people that believe things that are different from what you believe.
To come together.
That's right. That's right. Although you need a new one where I gotta say I can't go back. I have to keep my face.
Yeah.
I have to keep the face.
Was from the old days, Rob. From the old days.
It is from the old days. And on that note, I guess I will say to everybody, we'll see you next week. Yeah.
Next week.
And go get True Noir, truenoir.co. And episode 8 will be coming out this week. And followed by episode 9 and 10. And then I don't know what I'm going to do with my life, to be honest.
Off to the next project, Rob. Off to the next project.
Although, yeah, there could be another project in the offing. Shh. All right, everybody. Thank you all for being here. See you next week. There we go. We're off.
Okay. Before you jump off, Rob, spill the beans.